Absolutely crazy. All right, ladies and gentlemen, mic check 1 2 1 2. Want to welcome y'all to another edition, another crossover episode of Club Pizzle Happy Hour and Pizzles Picks. I'm of course your host Don P Pizzle, Pie Guy, all of those. Thank you guys for y'all continued support of this platform. Thank you guys for y'all continued support of this podcast and these podcasts and what I'm doing here. I greatly appreciate you. While you guys are in a supporting mood, I need y'all to like, comment, share. Feedback is very well encouraged over here on this platform. Before I get into anything, just want to let y'all know this is a crossover episode, and the next two Club Pizzle Happy Hours and Pizzles Picks will be crossover episodes, except for those episodes are going to be airing on Wednesdays. There are two Cavs games on back-to-back Tuesdays. So Wednesday, I'm going to be doing these crossover episodes, and it may be there may be a change. I might just keep these two together. I might just do happy hour and then just do OG Club Pizzle, just because. It's not because I don't like doing 3 pods a week. I enjoy that. Like podding, understand, podding gets me through a lot of the stuff that I go through in my brain. So being here and being able to sit down and being able to get my ish off, like I'm good doing it 3 times a week. But basketball season is coming up. I am a Cleveland Cavaliers season ticket holder, and I do have a bunch of Cavalier games that I am going to go to this year. I have 21 games as of right now, and that's not including the games that aren't in my season ticket package that I am going to attend this year, just to run that by. But tomorrow, make sure y'all tap in the lab with Artinka Tierra and Juicy. I will be on there. I will be just check out the In the Lab podcast. Check out their IG. In the Lab is going down. I'm gonna be there 8 p.m. Make sure y'all come and check that out. And also I want to give a big shout out and a big salute to my guys and gal over at In the Post. Shout out to Chase. Shout out to Dane. Shout out to Pooh, who wasn't there, but shout out to Emmy, who sat in for her. I had a really good time there. Make sure y'all go check that out. It's on YouTube. It's on IG. In the Post. Those are good people over there. They have great content over there. So make sure y'all go check them out. They do their damn thing. And we had a pretty damn good interview over there, man. I had a blast over there with them guys. I am gonna tap in with them at some point. I just got a lot doing, but it's a lot, and y'all go see. Stay tuned to this channel because I got a lot popping. I got a lot going. I got a lot that I'm gonna be doing here. I think that's about it, man. Let's just get this thing going. We got some stuff to get to. Y'all know the motto. I'm here for a good time, not a long time. Sometimes I end up being here for longer than I'm supposed to be. But here we are, man. Another week of college football, another wild week of college football. Man, what a wild week, right? It started on Friday night with the Virginia Cavaliers upsetting the Florida State Seminoles 46-38 in double overtime. Now, I can remember sitting in this very spot that I'm sitting in and looking directly into my camera that I'm looking into right now and saying, hey, Florida State, y'all know what y'all got coming up. Don't F this up. And what do? They go out and they lose. They started off slow. Florida State got back into it. They went up. I think I might have been out and about or like on my way back home. And by the time I got home and was watching other stuff, I went back to the game and it was like, okay. I will say, Castellanos is one of them. And I'm not gonna downplay him. I'm not gonna say that he's far from trash. Dude get busy. And he might just get off on my Hurricanes this Saturday. More on that in a minute. But I want to talk about this. Listen. You the number 8 team in the country at the time. You go into this road night game. It was a trap game. This was indeed the classic college football trap game. Where you go against a lesser opponent, you underestimate that lesser opponent, and you're looking ahead to the team that was at the time ranked number 2 in the country, and you thinking, hey, this game is going to be huge. And then you come out and you lay an egg the way you laid an egg. Nasty work, right? Shout out to my guy Juan Turner, like one of my good friends, Juan Turner, who's a Florida State fan. I didn't rib him as much, but he got ribbed. He got laughed. I laughed a lot. I laughed a whole lot. But that win, big win. The play of the game, or the biggest play of that game, was the touchdown catch that got overturned, and he bobbled it the whole way through. And when he caught it, and when they ruled it a touchdown, I said it even before the replay came out. I said, that is not a touchdown. Mans was bobbling that ball the whole way. He didn't have full control until he got the back line. Because he boom, bobble, boom, step, bobble, boom, step, bobble. He couldn't stop. I mean, but when this dude is what, 6'2", 6'3", about 215, 220, big body guy. Don't get me wrong. Dude is and his name escapes me right now. But dude he got busy the whole game, and I could see the ability on that guy. He more than likely is going to be playing on Sunday. Dude he ball out. And you can see the athleticism, and you can see all of that in him. But you could also see him bobbling that thing the whole way through and didn't get in full control. And shout out to ESPN, and shout out to the ACC. And I believe they're the only conference that's doing that right now. Shout out to them allowing us, the viewer, the consumer, to hear the conversation going on between the referee that is on the field and the replay people in the truck or in the office in Watch Out There Now, Mississippi, or wherever they are, for us to be privy to those conversations. And they've been doing that since week 1 of the season. And I believe it's only the ACC that's doing that. I think in 5 years, hell, I think in 3 years from now, that's going to be a norm in college football. Once you, like, it's dope. Like, you can hear them communicating. You can hear them saying, it's like, okay, so you got it there, got it there, got it there. This is the rule. Thought that was really, really dope. But congratulations to Virginia. That field rush was fire. Not gonna lie. Anytime these guys rush the field, I love it. Into the Saturday games. The early games, it was some good early games that I did miss because I was doing my interview with In the Post. But one of the games I want to highlight, Illinois beat USC 34-32. That was a good game. I did get an opportunity to watch like a condensed version of it. Shout out to ESPN. Shout out to all of these apps for giving condensed versions of games where I can watch them in 45 minutes and I'm able to be able to sit down and do that. Like, so that's dope. They want, like, Illinois needed that win after getting beat down by Indiana last week. Like, you got to keep your playoff hopes alive. And getting beat down like that, and to come back to lose the week after that, losing 2 in a row after being in the top 10, people are going to look at you like you are a fraud. But Brett Bielema, shout out to Brett Bielema. I remember Bielema when he replaced Barry Alvarez at Wisconsin. I remember him. I believe he went to Arkansas as well, the coach. But he seems to have a nice array of talent and a very talented roster over in Champaign. Those dudes fumbled twice in the end zone, which is crazy. I know there's going to be some kind of reprimand or something with that. But they got that big win. Walk-off kick at the final gun. Ole Miss upsets LSU 24-19 in a game in which I thought LSU had and they still do. I thought they had a very good opportunity at being one of the, playoff bound, probably. SEC championship, I thought at that time. And it's like things still can happen. Alabama can bump their head a couple of times. Texas, Georgia's still in it. A lot of these teams are still in it. Ole Miss is definitely in the mix. We got to see about them. But Ole Miss, like LSU, was one of those teams I had very high hopes for. I'm thinking they could be a 5 or a 6 seed or somewhere in there. This is one of Brian Kelly's most talented teams, or probably the most talented team. You got a quarterback who is going to go high. He's fallen out of Heisman contention, but Garrett Nussmeier has the tools and the measurables to be looked at as one of the first quarterbacks taken off the board next year. It's like him, Lenore Sellers, Carson Beck, to name a few that can be, or that are going to be, the top NFL prospect quarterbacks in the 2026 draft. So if your team sucks and didn't draft a quarterback in the first round last year, New York Jets, Cleveland Browns, hell, even the New Orleans Saints, if y'all suck that bad, y'all might as well draft Garrett Nussmeier. Keep him at home. Alabama beats Georgia again. 24-21. Great game. It was like, by the time, like, I had a lot going on in my house on Saturday, a lot going on, daughter going to home, some other family stuff going on. But I did get home to catch those games, the end of the Oregon Penn State game and the Alabama Georgia game, and I was keeping close tabs on it. Oregon going into Happy Valley in the whiteout at night and picking up a win in double overtime or in overtime was fire. Got that. Oregon is creeping up. And I got the top 25. I'm going to read it off to y'all in a second. But Oregon and Dante Moore, they may be on a collision course with Ohio State for the Big Ten championship, but I'm going out on a limb and saying that it's going to be Oregon and Ohio State in the Big Ten championship. Poor James Franklin. Poor Kirby Smart. Kirby Smart, listen, if Kirby Smart didn't have to play Alabama, or if he didn't play Alabama as much, or if he could only have to see them in a playoff situation or a national championship situation, Kirby Smart would be the greatest college football coach of all time. He's beaten Alabama once in 11 tries. And he's over against Kalen DeBoer. So all of my Alabama family, y'all can rest easy. Like, the Florida State loss at the beginning of the year, they was ready to jump off a bridge. The struggles, the early struggles, they're ready to get rid of Kalen DeBoer, buy him. And I brought this up, and listen, check this out. Y'all want to check it? And y'all can go back to the Club Pizzle archives, because I believe this one, my Spotify people, and maybe my YouTube people, y'all can go back. Definitely Spotify and Facebook. Definitely when I get to saying a coach should be gone and start naming replacements, the team usually turns it around. My biggest example of that was 2 years ago with JB Bickerstaff, but he ended up getting fired anyway. So, but the team responded, and they did they want to, and they did they got mean. So I kind of team responded. I did that with Alabama, saying you can buy Kalen DeBoer off for $70 million if John Gruden wants to coach. Hey, John Gruden, the Bama job, don't even think about it. Go to Gainesville. You live in Florida. You love Florida. It's hot down there. Go rebuild Florida. Listen, y'all. This college football season is only going to get better. It's getting better and better. As long as you have three Big Ten teams in the top 10 and a couple of others hovering in the top 25. You got the SEC hovering in the top 10 and all through the top 25. Listen, this season is going to get better, because check this out. The big games we got this week, and they're also going to be part of Pizzle's picks. Miami versus Florida, the big rivalry. Florida's messed up the opportunity for game day, but I don't think they were going to go to game day. Alabama and Vanderbilt is actually a big game. Holy moly. Vanderbilt is undefeated. Alabama is looking to avenge the loss that they took last year. So that's going to be a fun one. Georgia versus Kentucky. Like, SEC games are always fun to watch. Iowa versus Cincinnati in the Big 12 too. The Big 12 is as wide open as it was last year. It's a bunch of those things. Like, Iowa State still has a shot. BYU with a big dub last week. Texas Tech. I mean, Utah is still in the mix. Big 12 is wide open. Texas versus Florida. Again, these SEC games are fun. These SEC games are very intriguing. Let's run through this top 25, man. 1 through 5. Ohio State remains number 1 after their dominant win over Washington. I'm going to talk about that this Thursday on Club Pizzle. I got more on Ohio State. That's the reason why you don't hear here on Happy Hour, because I move all the Ohio State and all the local Cleveland talk over to OG Club Pizzle. That is for that only. Oregon makes the jump up to number 2 after their big dub over Penn State. Miami at number 3, and I kind of figured that would happen. I say they're number 2 this week. Well, they're number 2, but they won't be number 2 for long after this Penn State Oregon game. That team is going to be the legit number 2. Ole Miss at number 4 after their big dub over LSU. Oklahoma comes in at number 5, even without John Mateer. They're still without John Mateer, and they're going to be without John Mateer for another a few more games, maybe 6 weeks or so. They're going to be without him. Texas A&M comes in at number 5. So Texas A&M at number 6. So 3 of the top 6 are SEC teams, and then 1, 2 is the Big Ten, and is sandwiched by Miami in the ACC. Crazy. Your top Big 12 team is Texas Tech at 11, because Penn State is 7, Indiana is 8, Texas is 9, and Alabama is back in the top 10 after all the panic. And looking at my Alabama family going absolutely crazy. They back in the top 10. Texas Tech 11, Georgia drops to 12, LSU drops to 13, Iowa State is 14, Tennessee is hovering at 15, Vanderbilt is 16, Georgia Tech 17, Florida State drops from 8 to 18. Way to fumble it. It's still a big game coming up. Missouri 19, Michigan at 20. Notre Dame is getting back on track at 21. And if Notre Dame wins out, I would not be surprised. Illinois 22, BYU 23, Virginia 24, Arizona State 25. Again, the Big 12 is what it is. Texas Tech, Iowa State, BYU, and Arizona State are all hovering, and those are going to be the 4. And again, Utah still has an opportunity. Let's get to this Heisman watch show. I'm going to go 10 through 1 this week. Coming in at number 10, Diego Paiva, quarterback from Vanderbilt. I'm tripping. I didn't write it down. I believe that's the Vanderbilt. Number 9, Sam Levitt, Arizona State. As long as they have him, this guy has ability. This guy is going to be playing on Sundays. He might be a first-round draft. Number 8, Julian Sayin. He is starting to be more efficient. He's not throwing stupid interceptions. He's looking a whole lot better. I don't think he gets any higher than this on the Heisman list unless he comes out and goes absolutely crazy on the Big Ten and some other ranked opponents. But I don't think he goes any higher than where he is now. Number 7, Marcel Reed from Texas Tech. He can only go up. He still has Texas on his schedule. He still has some other SEC tilts to go. He can rise up this list. Number 6, Trinidad Chambliss. New entry to the list. He had a big game against LSU. He has his SEC tilt with teams. So we'll see if he stays up here. Number 5, Carson Beck had the week off, but he has an opportunity to beat Florida State, go on the road, go to Tallahassee, and go crazy and do his thing. Jeremiah Smith, wide receiver from Ohio State, grown man. What else can I say about him? Again, if he gets certain numbers and those numbers stay what they are, he could end up at the top of this list. Number 3, Ty Simpson. Listen, go on the road between the hedges against number 5 Georgia, who was riding a 38 game home winning streak, and come out of there with the dub, you're going to shoot up the Heisman list. Number 2, Fernando Mendoza from Indiana had a big win over Iowa. That defense is tough, but if you can score points on them, you can win, because that offense got 2 touchdowns and 2 field goals. And coming in at number 1 on my Heisman list this week, Dante Moore from Oregon, going into Happy Valley against number 2 Penn State at night in a whiteout, and coming out with the victory gets you number 1 on this list. Ladies and gentlemen, that's the Heisman list. All right, moving on. Let's talk a little bit of pro ball. Some of the major games and some of the major stories. Kansas City beat the brakes and the rotors off of the Baltimore Ravens 37-20. The Baltimore Ravens fall to 1-3. Is their run over? Is it finished? Is it time to start trying to rebuild around Lamar, or are we as podcasters or are the media writing them off too soon? I mean, what's happening? I honestly believe this team's still gonna end up like 12-5, 13-4. If not, is it time for John Harbaugh to go? It's been 2 decades. Will it be his time to go? Only time will tell. Are the Kansas City Chiefs back fully? Pat Mahomes sure looked like Pat Mahomes of old. 4 TD passes. He was out there running and wheeling and dealing. Pat looks like he's back. Patrick LeVon Mahomes, baby. 3 straight Super Bowls. Can they make it to their 4th straight Super Bowl? Only time will tell. Also from that game, my heart goes out to Chris Jones. Attends a family member's funeral early in the day to fly out and fly to Kansas City to get to the game and still play the game and be effective and be the game record that he is. I salute him for that. That is to be saluted. So salute to Chris Jones, and thoughts and prayers to you and your family, Chris. Moving on, the Giants beat the Chargers 21-18 in Jackson Dart's debut. Jackson didn't do too hot, but you could see the spark. You could see a difference. Listen, him and Cam Scatterboo, it's gonna be New York is gonna love him. The only bad thing about that game is them losing Malik Neighbors for the year. That is Giants fans, New York City Giants fans. That's your big 3. Dart at quarterback, Scatterboo at running back, Malik Neighbors at wide receiver. The future is bright. The defense still has, it's still a hell of a defense over there. That defensive line, there's some killers. That defense get busy. The Green Bay Packers and the Dallas Cowboys played to a tie. Listen, NFL, it's 2025. There is no way any game should end in a tie. This is American sports. Now, it don't have to be sudden death, but do something like college. Listen, the overtime rules got to change. You got to tweak it. If you got to go, all right, if one team scores, both teams get an opportunity to get the ball. And I believe in this game, both teams got to touch the ball and they both had a possession and they both went down. But after that, and they still tied, untimed down, do what college do. After the 10-minute period, 4 downs to score. Offense, boom, you score. All right, then we get our opportunity and make them go for 2 at that point. Because, come on, man, this is America. This is football. This is American football. Ain't no ties. I'm done with ties. It's crazy. The Pittsburgh Steelers beat the Minnesota Vikings in the very first game, the very first regular season NFL game played in Ireland. I thought that was pretty dope. The correlation of the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Rooney family are very big. They're good Irish people, and they wanted that game over there, and they got it over there. There was a lot of Steelers fans over there. It makes me want to puke. It is what it is, though. And Philly beats Tampa 31-25 in a battle of undefeated teams. That game was a whole lot closer than it started off to be. Baker Mayfield almost brought them back. And Emeka Ibuka is a dog. Shout out to Ohio State and their wires. I think that's it for my NFL, man. I said what I said about the overtime rules. Those things have to change. All right, ladies and gentlemen, it's time for your favorite part of the show. My favorite part of the show. Your favorite segment. Pizzles Picks. All right, let's get to these college picks, man. Friday night, the West Virginia Mountaineers travel to take on the number 23 ranked BYU Cougars. BYU riding high off of that big win against Colorado. I think they're going to ride that momentum. I think they're going to continue on. BYU is like, hey, we're going to be in the mix for that Big 12 championship too. Like I said, that conference is wide open. Give me BYU in that one. Saturday, Clemson at North Carolina. Dabo versus Bill Belichick. Both of these teams aren't doing so hot. Clemson is 1-3. Carolina is like 2-2 or 1-3 or something like that. I think Dabo gets his team on track here, and I think they win this game by a lot. They're either going to blow North Carolina out or Carolina's going to win close. But I'm picking Clemson to win this game. Wisconsin travels to take on number 20 Michigan. Give me Michigan in this game. This is going to be one of those old school, old-time Big Ten games where it's run the football like 3 yards. I can't even say 3 yards in a cloud of dust anymore because nobody, like most of these colleges, don't play on grass. It's like, 3 yards and a cloud of pellets, whatever. Give me Michigan, though. Number 22, Illinois travels to take on Purdue. I got Illinois by a lot. Purdue isn't what they used to be. They're a long way from the Joe Tiller football on grass. Drew Brees is not walking through that door. So give me Illinois in that one. Kentucky travels to take on the number 12 ranked Georgia Bulldogs. I think Georgia bounces back and wins big over Kentucky. And I think it's almost time for Mike Stoops to start to almost might be time for you to find something else, dog. You did a great job at Kentucky so far, but you're not going to get anywhere far. I mean, NIL, like all of this, like it's just not happening. Number 14, Iowa State travels to take on Cincinnati in the Big 12 too. Give me Iowa. Love Matt Campbell in Iowa State. Matt Campbell, I'm telling y'all, Matt Campbell in the next couple of years is going to get an NFL job or he's going to leave for the SEC. One of the two. There's a job in Florida that might be opening up. I mean, Oklahoma State probably can throw. I mean, that's a Big 12. Oklahoma State can throw a little bit of money at them. Arkansas just fired their coach. Bobby Petrino's taking over there. So Matt Campbell may get that job. That may be another job lined up for John Gruden as well. We'll see. But I'm taking Iowa State on the road here. Washington travels to take on Maryland. Washington coming off of their loss to Ohio State. They're still a high-scoring team. That offense is still high-powered. I think they go into Maryland, and I think they go beat the hell out of Maryland. Give me Washington on the road. Number 7, Penn State travels out to the Rose Bowl to take on UCLA. I got Penn State bouncing back in a big way. Give me the Nittany Lion. Texas travels to take on Florida. This game is only here because both of these are brand names. Team like Texas is a brand name, Florida is a brand name. I'm still taking Texas though. Arch Manning versus DJ Lagway. I mean, DJ Lagway. I think both of these guys. I think either next year or the year after that. Like this is gonna be a marquee matchup. At this point in time. These two guys are going to be like top Heisman candidates. And they were coming into the year. I still think Arch can make his way up there. He just has to go on a killer run from now. And they have to win the SEC and get to the SEC championship game. He has to do all of that. But I'm taking Texas here, and I'm taking Texas by a lot in the Swamp. Number 16, Vanderbilt travels to take on the Alabama Crimson Tide. Bama is back. Kalen DeBoer is back. They get their lick back and beat Vanderbilt. Number 24, Virginia travels to Louisville. Shout out to Louisville. That's how you make Kentuckians happy. You can't say Louisville or Louisville. You got to say Louisville. Anyway, give me Virginia to win this game. I think they capitalized off of their big win over Florida State last week. I think they capitalized that. They ride that momentum. So they run into my Hurricanes, and then they're going to get their ass kicked. Boise State travels to take on Notre Dame. This would have been a marquee matchup last year. Not so much this year. I'm taking Notre Dame. Notre Dame has found their stride. Notre Dame is getting on track. Notre Dame is going to win this one. I got a feeling Notre Dame is going to win out, and they're going to creep into the playoffs. They're slowly going to creep back up to top 25. They're going to get in that top 12. They're going to get in that top 10, and they are going to be a playoff team. I got them winning this one. Michigan State travels to take on Nebraska. Sparty versus Dylan Raiola. I think, give me Nebraska. I'm just going to take Nebraska. Dylan Raiola, he's getting there. Like the whole Pat Mahomes thing, he got to cut it out. He got to quit it, but whatever. Give me Nebraska here. Number 11, Texas Tech travels to take on Houston. I think this might be the best game of the week, y'all. And I'm like, even with these ranked matchups, the Miami Florida State game, the Vanderbilt Alabama game, I think this Big 12 tilt is going to be, this matchup of Texas teams is going to be a hell of a matchup. Houston's undefeated. Texas Tech is undefeated. Like this is going to be a game to watch. I'm gonna make sure I'm at the crib, sitting right down here in my man cave, in my recliner with my feet kicked up, with a nice glass of whiskey to watch this game. I'm gonna take Texas Tech to win the game, but I think it's gonna be a hard-fought game. Miami travels to take on number 18, Florida State. Come on, man. Y'all know the vibes. Y'all know where I'm at. Y'all know how I feel. I'm taking the Miami Hurricanes. I am never picking the Florida State Seminoles when it comes to my Miami Hurricanes when they on the other side of my Miami Hurricanes. Y'all almost forgot who y'all was dealing with here. Give me the Hurricanes, ACC champions, and I'll get there. We'll get there. Look, listen, I ain't going to go too crazy. Go Canes. Mississippi State travels to take on Texas A&M. This is going to be another one of those good SEC games. Give me A&M for the dub. Colorado travels to take on TCU in a rematch of Coach Prime's debut 2 years ago. They go back down there. I think TCU gets their lick back this year. Listen, Colorado, I want to pick them so bad. I root for Coach Prime. I'm one of the people still watching Coach Prime. I might be one of the only people still posting about Coach Prime because a lot of people sure aren't talking about him anymore for whatever reason. Something ain't right. Caden Salter, I don't know if pulling him and putting those other quarterbacks in is shaking his confidence. He just don't seem right. He has pockets of games and stretches of games where he looks like the man, but then he has those other stretches where he don't look too good. And I'm kind of worried about him. Give me TCU in this game, though. Kansas at UCF, another good Big 12 too. Listen, man, the Big 12 is going to give us some good games this year. I'm taking UCF in this game. I don't know why. Kansas is going to mess around and win it, but I'm going to pick UCF. And Duke travels to take on Cal. Manny Diaz and his crew going out there to California to take on Cal Berkeley. I think this game is – give me Cal. Just give me Cal. No recap, man. Y'all already heard the games, man. I ain't even going to get a recap. Let's get to these NFL picks. We're doing good on time anyway, though. Thursday night. The San Francisco 49ers travel to take on the LA Rams at SoFi. It's going to be full of 49ers fans out there, but I'm taking the Rams. That pass rush and Brock Purdy don't look so purdy this year. I mean, I know it was his first game back last week. He didn't look too good. So give me the Rams and Sean McVay, man. Sean McVay is the dude, man. Sunday morning in Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, the Minnesota Vikings take on the Cleveland Browns. I'm going to go with the Minnesota Vikings here. Reports are that Dylan Gabriel will be starting for the Cleveland Browns in this game. I will have more on that Thursday. That's all I got is there are reports that Dylan Gabriel will start. I can't confirm or deny, but the reports are out there. And probably by the time I stop recording this and look at my phone, it's going to be official. But it's been reported by quite a few trusted sources. It don't matter who the damn quarterback is. Minnesota Vikings over the Cleveland Browns. The Las Vegas Raiders travel to take on the Indianapolis Colts. The Colts looking to bounce back from that loss to the Los Angeles Rams last week. They come home, and I think they come home and get the job done. I like Pete Carroll, but I don't like Geno Smith. I love Pete Carroll. I love Ashton Genty. I like Max Crosby. But I don't like Geno Smith. Let Kenny Pickett play quarterback. I don't like Geno Smith. He just don't. Don't ask me why, y'all. I just don't, y'all, okay? Move. Colts win this game. The New York Giants travel to take on the New Orleans Saints. Jackson Dart, I think, is the spark that the Giants need. The Saints are bad. It don't matter who the quarterback is. Don't matter if it's Spencer Rattler or Tyler Show. They're bad. And they have talent on the offensive end. Like, the talent that they have over there is ridiculous. You still have Alvin Kamara. You have Chris Olave. Oh, come on. Those two horses, they just wasting years. And I love Spencer Rattler. He's just not doing the job. He just looks so bad. And Tyler Shuck, nope, don't even want to do that. Give me the Giants to win that game. The Dallas Cowboys, fresh off a tie, go up to MetLife to take on the New York Jets. First time they're going up there. They get to take 2 trips up there because they play the Giants there. They're one of their rivals. I don't know what y'all are paying attention to football, but the Jets stink. The Cowboys stink, but the Cowboys stench isn't as bad as the Jets stench is. And I'm going to pick the Cowboys to win this game on the road. The Denver Broncos travel to take on the Philadelphia Eagles. This goes one of those. It's not the Western time zone, but it's the Mountain time zone. Traveling over to the East Coast. The Philadelphia Eagles are the best team in football right now. I'm going to take them over the Denver Broncos, even though the Denver Broncos did play a hell of a game last night and beat the hell out of a Joe Burrow-less Cincinnati Bengals team. I'm still taking the Philadelphia Eagles. The Houston Texans take on the Baltimore Ravens in 2 underachieving teams. Lamar Jackson did hurt his hamstring last week, where he was out with a sore hamstring. I believe he's going to play Sunday. There's no way. It's Texas. And I think, give me the Baltimore Ravens in this game. The Tennessee Titans travel to take on the Arizona Cardinals. I'm going to take the Cardinals. In the words of Cam Ward, they are ass. And they are indeed ass. And it'll, in due time, you get better pieces in that you have. Just not it for them right now. Give me the Arizona Cardinals. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers travel to take on the Seattle Seahawks. Give me the Tampa Bay Buccaneers to bounce back. Seattle has a damn good defense. Seattle doesn't have a bad team at all. I'm just riding with Baker Mayfield. He has. Give me the Baker and the Buccaneers. The Detroit Lions travel to take on the Cincinnati Bengals. Listen. Give me the Lions. The Cincinnati Bengals are bad without Joe Burrow. Looking like I see Joe Burrow now in a totally different light. I see Joe Burrow is is greatness. Because you see what he can do with those weapons. Browning ain't doing it. It ain't it. It's levels. I'm taking the Detroit Lions in that game, though. The Washington Commanders travel to take on the Los Angeles Chargers. I'm taking the Chargers. If it's Marcus Mariota, it's definitely the Chargers. Because I haven't heard anything like it's only Tuesday. So Jaden Daniels hasn't been. There's nothing. I'm gonna take the Chargers anyway. The New England Patriots travel to take on the Buffalo Bills. That's a Sunday night too. Give me Buffalo. They're the other best team in the NFL. Are the Eagles and Bills headed for a Super Bowl collision course? We're gonna see. And on Monday night, the Kansas City Chiefs travel to take on the Jacksonville Jaguars. The Jaguars are a surprising 3-1. Browns fans should be rooting for the Jacksonville Jaguars to lose the rest of their games, and then they can have 2 top 5 or top 10. But as long as they keep winning, that pick is gonna go up. Ladies and gentlemen, Pizzles picks. All right, and finally, before I get out of here, I'm pretty sure wondering, like, why the hell is this dude wearing orange, wearing Syracuse orange? I found out, it came across my news feed. Like a couple of hours ago, that Syracuse Orangeman legend Lawrence Moten has passed away at the age of 53. Anybody who watched college basketball or was big into college basketball in the 1990s know who Lawrence Moten is. They know about Lawrence Moten. And that's like, I have this because of like Lawrence Moten. Let me talk to y'all real quick. Lawrence Moten was one of my favorite players to watch in college basketball when he played from 1991 to 1995. So he was right in there. You had Larry Johnson, Greg Anthony, Stacey Augmon, UNLV, Grant Hill at Duke, Christian Laettner, Bobby Hurley. Then you had the Fab Five: Chris Webber, Jalen Rose, Juwan Howard, Ray Jackson, Jimmy King. You had Jim Jackson at Ohio State. 94, 95, you had Ed O'Bannon, Cameron Dollar, Tyus Edney at UCLA. I believe Harold Miner was at USC at that time. It was a good time, and then just the Big East basketball period at that time. Allen Iverson, Victor Page at Georgetown. You had Kerry Kittles at Villanova. You had Lawrence Moten at Syracuse. John Wallace came later, but he's one of those guys. Derek Coleman comes out of Syracuse. St. John's, Felipe Lopez was later on, but y'all get what I'm saying. I watched Lawrence Moten. Penny Hardaway, can't forget Penny Hardaway. But Shaq at LSU. I watched Syracuse. I was a Duke fan. Still a Duke fan. But I watched Syracuse, and I was a fan of Syracuse basketball because of Lawrence Moten. He stood out. He was a 6'3" guard, cat quick, and again, he stood out because he wore long socks. As y'all can see, I am wearing long white socks. This is all, y'all see it, Syracuse down socks. Y'all see me. And of course, this shirt is Lawrence Moten. Just wanted to show y'all that. He played at Syracuse from 1991 to 1995. He is when he left there, he was the all-time leading scorer for the school, and he remains the all-time leading scorer for the school with 2,334 points. He averaged 19.3 points per game during his 4-year career. That was back when guys played all 4 years. He was drafted by the Vancouver Grizzlies. I think he only lasted 2 years there. But nonetheless, man, rest in peace to Lawrence Moten, one of my favorite guys that I watched in college basketball at that time. And with that said, y'all, I'm gonna get out of here. I will see you guys Thursday for Club Pizzle. I'm gonna talk Browns. Is this quarterback change a real thing or no? They are in London. I'm gonna talk about this last game against Detroit, and I'm going to talk that a little bit. And I'm also going to Cleveland Cavaliers are in training camp. Media day was yesterday. I got some notes and some tidbits from that. And some Ohio State football. Are they the best team in the defense? Looks like it, but are they the best team in the country? Are they going to go back to back? We are going to see. So, y'all know what it is, man. Y'all know what it is. Always protect your peace, protect your energy. The message is more important than the messenger. And remember, creators be great. Stay positive. This negative energy is trash. See you on Thursday for Club Pizzle. Peace.